If you ever stay at the Orion Grand Hotel, never take the elevator after 3 a.m. because on some nights, it doesn't stop where it should. It skips the 7th floor. And if you're unlucky, it takes you somewhere else. Somewhere between floors, where the walls breathe and time doesn't move. That's what happened to Ethan Cole, the night security guard who worked the graveyard shift. He thought he was just checking a false alarm. But that elevator had been waiting for him for a long, long time. It was a stormy night. Rain hammered the windows. The lobby lights flickered, humming with low power. Ethan sat behind the reception desk, sipping cold coffee, scrolling through the security cameras. Every hallway was empty, except the one on the 7th floor. For a split second, he saw a woman standing by the elevator. Barefoot, head tilted. Her hair hung, wet over her face like she'd just stepped out of the rain. Then, static. The feed glitched. When it cleared, she was gone. The elevator dinged on its own. Ethan looked at the screen again. The doors were open, but no one came out. Just darkness. And yet, water began dripping from a ceiling vent right above him. He grabbed his flashlight and muttered, "Not tonight. Please, not tonight." He took the elevator to the 7th floor. The hallway stretched ahead, silent and cold. The carpet squished under his boots. Wet footprints trailed from the elevator to the end of the corridor. No sign of anyone. Then, faintly, he heard humming. A woman's voice. Soft. Out of tune. It came from behind one of the doors. Room 709. He knocked. "Ma'am? Security here. You okay?" The humming stopped. Then, a whisper from the other side of the door. "The elevator is waiting." Ethan backed away, heart pounding. He pressed the elevator button, and the doors opened immediately. The display flickered. 7. Sahad. He frowned. "There's no half floor," he whispered. Before he could step back, the doors slammed shut, and the elevator began to move down. The elevator shuddered violently, lights flickering red. Ethan hit the emergency stop, but nothing worked. The digital panel glitched, showing only static numbers and faint whispers through the speaker. Then the elevator stopped. Ding! The doors slid open, and cold air rushed in. He stepped out cautiously. The hallway looked almost identical to the 7th floor. Same layout, same wallpaper, but everything was rotted. The wallpaper was peeling in strips, exposing black mold. The lights flickered like dying fireflies, and every few seconds, the walls dripped water that smelled like rust and soil. He walked slowly, hearing faint voices echoing down the corridor. He passed old portraits, guessed from decades ago, but each one had its eyes scratched out. At the end of the hall, a mirror leaned against the wall. He saw his reflection, but it was different. The reflection looked older, soaked, pale, and it was smiling. "You finally came back, Ethan," it whispered. Ethan stumbled back, breathing heavily. He turned to run, but the elevator was gone. Behind him, the mirror began to ripple like water. He heard footsteps behind him, slow, wet, deliberate. The woman from the CCTV stood at the other end of the hall. Her skin was gray, her dress torn and dripping. She opened her mouth, and the same whisper came again. "The elevator is waiting." Ethan turned back toward the mirror and saw dozens of faces pressed inside the glass, their mouths open, screaming silently. He pounded on the wall, shouting, "Let me out! Somebody!" Then the reflection smiled wider, eyes glowing faint white. It raised a finger and whispered, "You shouldn't have answered." The glass shattered outward, flooding the hallway with dark water. Ethan screamed as the floor gave way beneath him, and everything went black. At 6 a.m., guests complained about the elevator being stuck. When staff opened it, the cabin was filled knee-deep with dirty water. No trace of Ethan. Security footage showed him entering the elevator at 3:07 a.m. But the next frame showed only an empty cabin, doors closing on their own. Later that day, a maintenance worker found wet footprints on the 7th floor, leading straight into a sealed wall. Where a second elevator shaft used to be, before it was abandoned decades ago. Carved into the plaster beside it were 5 shaky words. "It skipped my floor again." And if you ever ride that elevator at 3 a.m. and it stops between 7 and 8, don't look at the doors. Don't move. Just pray. that it doesn't open. Some elevators take you up, others take you somewhere else.